Welcome to Spring Boot Lectures. In this lecture, we will be talking about mapping. We have one-to-one mapping. What is this one-to-one mapping? So this @1-to-1 mapping is a notation used to establish one-to-one relationship between the two entities. So this implies that the record in each entity is associated with exactly one record in the other entity and vice versa. So if you have a student entity and you have one more laptop entity, if each record in the student has only one record in the laptop, then it is called as one-to-one relationship. In this also you have two types. One is unidirectional and one more is bidirectional. Unidirectional in the sense if the entity student knows about the other entity laptop, but this laptop is not aware that there is one entity called as student. So one entity knows about the other, but the other entity is not aware of this relationship. This is called unidirectional relationship. Let's go with the bidirectional relationship. It is when both entities are aware of each other and have reference to each other. So this is bidirectional. So now let's go to IDE and start coding. We'll create one more entity called as laptop. We will have two attributes in the laptop. One is the laptop model. One more is the laptop name. So to know the string that this is an entity, we need to annotate it with @entity. And then we have getters and setters, @getter, @setter, no args constructor, all args constructor, @data if you want. And then you can also mention the table name by giving table name is equals to laptop, and each entity will have a primary key which is annotated with @id, and we should specify the generated generated value as strategy is equals to generated type dot identity. And then we can also specify the column attribute. We will specify it. Name is equals to, what is the name? Laptop model. We will tell it as laptop model number. Instead of all this, we'll just the laptop model number and model name. Then we keep this here. So we successfully created the laptop entity. So now we need to connect this to the student entity with one-to-one mapping. What we'll do is we'll write private laptop and then we will tell it as one-to-one mapping, one-to-one mapping, and then this is a unidirectional. So your student class knows that there is a entity laptop which exists, and it also knows there is a relationship which is one-to-one between these two. To make it a bidirectional, what we'll do is we will have the student entity related here by telling @1 to 1. So to make it bidirectional, we should also map it by property with the whatever we are mapping in the student. So here we are mapping the student to a laptop. Correct, no? We are mapping it to a laptop. Then here in the student entity, we need to have a cascade property. What is this cascade property all about? Cascade property is like the attribute which defines the cascade operation which is applied throughout the association of entity. When a change is made in the entity, say the delete, create, update or refresh, whether it should be cascaded to the child entity or not. This has to be specified externally. That you can give it by telling cascade equal to cascade type dot all. So we are taking everything into consideration. Apart from this, we have some other attributes like fetch attribute. Fetch attributes will define the fetching strategy. Like it can be either lazy or eager. Lazy in the sense whenever you are getting the parent component in the first call, should I go get the child properties also, child entity also. So if it is lazy, it won't bother to get the child. If it is eager, it will get the child entity as well. So this is the fetch attribute. You have one more attribute as optional, which indicates whether the association is optional or mandatory. This is a Boolean value. Then you have something called as target entity. So it allows to specify the target entity class when dealing with bidirectional relationship. Then we also have one more property attribute called as orphan removal. It specifies whether to remove the association entity if it is removed from the association. These are the attributes which can be given to one-to-one or one-to-many. So now we did this. Association is done. So now to save this, we need to add it to our request. So in our request, we will add private laptop laptop and then we need to save this in while saving student we should also set the laptop entity. So we go here, we take student dot set laptop student request dot get laptop. So this is done. So we created laptop entity, we mapped it to the student, and then here in student also we mapped. So this becomes bidirectional, and in the service layer we also set the laptop property. So let's go to our postman. In the post method, we had these three property, which are student first name, last name, age. Now we also added laptop, right? So laptop property, we also added it. So what we'll do, comma, laptop. This is an object. So in the laptop, whatever we have, model number, model name. Model number can be any CK B08 BH78, some number, and model name Lenovo ThinkPad. So we'll send the request. We got the request. So here we have the student property as null. So to stop this propagation, what we'll do is go to our entity. In the laptop class, we have something called as JSON back reference. So this will avoid looping whenever we have sequencing, um, sequencing or serialization. So to stop that propagation, we have JSON back reference. So we will change the name. We will post one more, and then in the get request, we'll go send the request. Here you should also give join column name equal to whatever ID from the other entity, primary key, can also give referenced column name as top ID. So we go to the get URL and you can see that we have a record which is there. So we will post one more record. You can see two records. So this is how you can do one-to-one.